What's up, you guys? It's Levi here. Welcome to another edition of the Cybersecurity Education channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. So today I'm going to be continuing on the series of cybersecurity travel tips. In the last video we talked about plugging your devices into public chargers. We talked about why you shouldn't do that, the dangers of what could happen to you if you do that. If you want to learn more about that, I'll go ahead and put a card up here that you guys can click on, and you can click and you can learn more about that. I plan on continuing to do this cybersecurity travel tips video until I run out of ideas, so keep watching in the future to learn more to help yourself when you're traveling. Alright, so today's topic we're going to be talking about public Wi-Fi. So one of the main things besides plugging into your travel charger when you get to the airport because you ran out of juice is you get to an airport, you get to a hotel, you don't have unlimited data on your cell phone plan, or you have a laptop and you want to watch a YouTube video or you want to watch music because you have nothing better to do at an airport, right? And so the first thing you do is you go and search for public Wi-Fi. You see this Wi-Fi that says free Wi-Fi. It doesn't require a password. Awesome. You connect into it. You get your YouTube videos for free. You might have to click like a little accept thing to get into it. But boom, you're on your way. You get to watch your YouTube videos and not have to pay for data. Sounds like a great idea, right? Well, the problem with that is there's some dangers to connecting to public Wi-Fi, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And then I'm also going to be talking about what you should do if you absolutely have to connect to public Wi-Fi. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't connect to public Wi-Fi. So I hope you guys really enjoy this content. Go ahead and smash that like button if you like it. And make sure to click the subscribe button if you find my content useful. Alright, so you guys are asking at this point,
Levi, what kind of risks do we have connecting to public Wi-Fi?
Alright, so the number one risk is your phone will explode. No, just kidding. Luckily, it's not that bad, at least not yet anyway. Alright, so the number one risk connecting to a public Wi-Fi network is, I'm going to give you a cybersecurity term here. It's called man-in-the-middle. Alright, so basically what the man-in-the-middle attack means is you go ahead and you connect to free Wi-Fi, which is actually fake. It's sponsored by an attacker. He sets up his own Wi-Fi network that says free Wi-Fi or something like that. It's enticing to you. There's no password. You go ahead and connect to it. That fake attacker, then anything on that fake Wi-Fi actually goes through the fake attacker's device. He's snooping all the traffic that's going to that fake Wi-Fi. So then when you connect out to the internet, he's able to see all of that traffic. So that's the biggest risk that you have by connecting to a fake Wi-Fi network. We'll talk about how to get around this later. But that's the biggest risk that you have connecting to a fake Wi-Fi network, or connecting to a public Wi-Fi network, which could be fake. All right, so the number two risk is malware. That dreaded malware. You go ahead and connect to that free Wi-Fi network. And you get like a landing page where you have to accept something or you download something. Well, it turns out you download whatever's on that landing page, and it turns out to be malware. And then that malware could potentially allow the attacker that set up the fake Wi-Fi point to have full access to your computer, to see all the data on your computer, to remotely connect to your computer, and do whatever they want with your computer. So your computer essentially becomes theirs, and they can monitor and do anything. So most of the time that'll happen because they'll make you try to download something. They can take advantage of an exploit on your system as soon as you connect. If you have a vulnerability that you didn't patch, or there's a vulnerability out there that's unknown and hasn't had a patch for it, then that the attacker knows about, then they can get in your system that way. Another thing that they might make you do is they might have a pop-up comes up, and as soon as you click on that pop-up, boom, that malware hits your system. So malware is the second thing. All right, so redirecting traffic is the third thing. So basically in this scenario, you go ahead and you connect to that free Wi-Fi, which is actually fake Wi-Fi. It's set up by the attacker. You decide that you're going to do some banking on this free Wi-Fi. So you go ahead and you go to your trustworthy site, bankofamerica.com. Well, the attacker has manipulated your traffic. So when you're going to bankofamerica.com, they actually have it set up so that it redirects to fakeofamerica.com, which is a website that the attacker owns, but in your browser, you see it as bankofamerica.com. It'll show up as bankofamerica.com. They'll set up a page that looks exactly like bankofamerica.com. You'll go and type your username and password. That then gets routed to the attacker instead of the actual bankofamerica.com. Then boom, the attacker sees your credentials and they can get into your account if you don't have two-factor authentication set up or multi-factor authentication set up, which hopefully you should. If you have a bank that isn't requiring you to do that, then there's a problem. But this can be done for any website. I just point out a banking example because it's one of the biggest hits that you could take. And then one thing to note too, they can set up HTTPS or SSL, a secure connection, so it looks legit. The traffic looks like it's encrypted all the way to the site, but because the attacker owns the site, it doesn't matter. That data is going to get to their server anyway, and they'll be able to see the information because they're not actually in the middle of this process. They own the site that you're going to. It's just redirecting from bankofamerica.com to that site. So those are the three risks.
So Levi, how do I protect myself from these problems using public Wi-Fi?
Alright, so the first thing that you can do if you have to use a public Wi-Fi network, don't send any private data across a public Wi-Fi network. So what do I mean by this? I mean, like, don't send a social security number. Don't go to financial websites. You don't want people being able to see your financials. Don't go to healthcare websites, things like that, where you don't want people to be able to see it. Don't be sending messages of private information that you wouldn't want the public to know. You know, just stick to the basics if you can. I would try to avoid even signing into websites if you don't have to. If you are going to log into a website or send any information, make sure that the site that you're using has HTTPS up in that address bar. If it says HTTP, that information that you're sending is not encrypted. If there's somebody that sits in the middle, they can see all the information that you're sending across on an HTTP website. With this video being recorded in 2019, we're getting to the point where sites shouldn't be using this anymore. If they are, they're probably not a very good website, but you got to be careful still. Your data is super exposed for somebody to snoop if it's not using HTTPS. Then keep in mind, just because the site's using HTTPS doesn't mean it's a secure site. Like I said before, if you connect to a fake public Wi-Fi network and the attacker manipulates your traffic so it looks like a web page that you would go to, but it's redirecting to their own server, it doesn't matter if you have HTTPS because it's going to them anyway. You know, which brings up my next number 3 point. If you're connected to a public Wi-Fi network, watch to make sure that your sites actually look like what they're supposed to look like. If the page is slightly different or it looks off, that's a good sign that you're on a compromised public Wi-Fi network. You're on a rogue public Wi-Fi network, and you need to get off of that thing immediately. And absolutely do not enter any information on sites that look fake. The number 4 thing that you can do is to use a VPN. Basically, a VPN is an abbreviation for a virtual private network. You sign up with a provider online. It creates a secure tunnel between you and the provider, and anybody in between can't see that traffic. Even if it's not HTTPS traffic, if it's just regular HTTP traffic, that's all in a secure tunnel, and it's super hard to break into. And especially if you're connected to a public Wi-Fi network, this is essential, because then none of the traffic can be seen. The chances of the traffic being seen, which is the highest risk, is very, very low. So you definitely want to use a VPN if you're connecting to a public Wi-Fi network. So yeah, those are the 4 protections that you can take if you decide to use public Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to be talking about what you ultimately should do is not use public Wi-Fi. Let me repeat that again. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Don't use it.
But Levi, what am I supposed to do if I don't use public Wi-Fi?
So, there's this thing in this day and age in 2019 called unlimited data. If you travel a lot or you're planning on going on a trip, I highly advise you get unlimited data. Just use your cell phone connection, then you don't have to mess with the public Wi-Fi thing. You can watch your YouTube videos and do all the crazy stuff that you want to do on your phone without having to deal with the risks of public Wi-Fi. If you're not going to use public Wi-Fi, make sure that you turn off your Wi-Fi on your device, and then specifically also make sure that your device is not set up to auto connect to Wi-Fi that's available. That way it doesn't accidentally connect to somebody's Wi-Fi and then somebody's fake Wi-Fi, and then you expose yourself to all the risks that we talked about previously. If you're thinking, well, what am I supposed to do if I want to connect my laptop or tablet, but I don't have a cell phone signal on those? You set up your hotspot on your phone and you connect to your hotspot with those devices. Then you're not using public Wi-Fi, you're using the trusted cell phone connection. So those are the 3 things that you can do when you're not using public Wi-Fi. I highly advise the only option in this situation should be to not use and do these 3 things on your cell phone, on your cell phone plan. It's 2019. If you travel a lot or you're going on a trip, there's no excuse. Pay the extra for unlimited data to help better protect yourself from getting your device compromised, getting data stolen, and reducing your risk by identity theft and fraud and things like that. So in this video, we talked about public Wi-Fi. We talked about the risks of using public Wi-Fi. The main risk being that somebody can set up a fake access point. They can put malware on your device. They can intercept your traffic. They can redirect your traffic to make it look like you're going to a legit website when you're not, and steal your data from that. With the malware that they put on your device, they can pwn your device or own it, if you pwn from a cybersecurity term, and do whatever they want with that device. Then we talked about what you can do to protect yourself if you're connecting to a public Wi-Fi network. You can do things like use VPN. You can make sure your site has HTTPS. You can make sure that whenever you're going to a site, the site looks legit, it doesn't look fake, and you can make sure that you're only doing very basic stuff on public Wi-Fi, and you're not accessing secret information, you're not sending secret information to people, or accessing banking, financial websites and things like that. And then we talked about the most important thing in this video is to not use public Wi-Fi. Get unlimited data. Turn off your Wi-Fi and use a hotspot for all your other devices. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.